Hi there. Today we are going to look into problem number 3 from LeetCode, longest substring without repeating characters. The problem definition is as such. Therefore, we are given a string s and we need to find the length of the longest substring. Therefore, uh, let's take an example. Okay. Therefore, this is a given string. Therefore, this string contains several substring. Like for example, A is one of the substring, AB is another substring, ABC is another substring, so on. And the restriction is that we are supposed to find the length of a substring which is the longest. Okay, the length of which is the longest, and it should not have any repeating characters. Okay. Now, say for example, if I take the substring ABCA, right? Therefore, this has a repeating in it. Therefore, this can't be the longest substring without a repeating character. But ABC, right, can be the longest. Therefore, there is no repetition here, and it is a substring. And we have to return the length. We are not supposed to return ABC, but only the length is enough. Okay, there are several examples given here. Therefore, let's copy the prototype into our favorite editor and start working on it. Let me include stdio.h. Yeah. Now, what way of solving this as of I'm thinking, right, is that we have one index, right, that goes through the array. Therefore, the string I'm going to consider it as array of characters, and it is array of characters, of course. Therefore, one index will try to go through we'll pivot it at different points throughout the string, and the other index, right, will move from that point. Say for example, if it is pivoted to A, it will move from A to all the points till it finds a repetition, and it will try to find the length, and we'll have a small condition where we'll store the max length. Okay. Therefore, it's a for loop inside a for loop. Therefore, obviously the complexity would be O of n square. We'll think of how to improve it later, but let's start with this simple solution. Okay. Therefore, I would choose I and j as my indexes. Therefore, for I is equal to 0 and I don't want to find the length of the string. Therefore, I would choose the end criteria to be I of s not equal to 0. Therefore, it's a null terminated string. Therefore, I would go throughout the string till null termination happens. Therefore, this is one way of going through the string without trying to call string length. String length again would involve again a function call, and it would go through the string to find the length. Therefore, that would again add to more code. Therefore, to prevent that, this is one way of doing it. Therefore, let me do the same thing again. Therefore, 2 for loops, and therefore this will be based on j. Okay. And the first character j will take is that of I, right? Okay, now the next thing I need to do is I need to keep track of how many times different letters occur, right? How many times A occurred, B occurred. If there is a repetition, I need to know that, right? Therefore, one way of doing it is having array of counters. Okay, let's assume characters is 8 bits and 2 to the power 8 is 128, I think, or 2 to the power 8 is 256. Yeah. Therefore, let's have a counter of which represents each character. Therefore, what I will do, I'll initialize it to 0 here. Therefore, I can very well call memset also if I want. Let me call memset of C and T, and each should be 0 and size of cnt, right? Therefore everything is set. I think memset is part of string.h, therefore let me include that, right? Therefore I clear up the array. Therefore each time, right, I go to therefore the first thing I do is I go to the count, and I need to find out whether the present character, right, which is s of j, right, it's a present character. The first one is the pivot, the second one is where I am moving. Actually I am going to check if the count is equal to 0, right? If it is 0, then I very well know that okay, I need to increment this, right? And also I need to increment the length, right? Some length. Therefore let me have another variable here, length, and this length will vary each time, right? Therefore I'll initialize it over here. And in the else case, say for example I already I got a repeat, right? Then it wouldn't be equal to 0. In that case I'll break it, right, and break out of the loop, and here I will check if length is greater than max length. If this is a case, then I'll make max length as this newly calculated length, and let me have max length, and the default value should be 0, of course, because that is the minimum possible length. Therefore the default value should be the minimum possible length. Okay, and once I come out of the loop, I need to memset it again, right? Therefore rather than doing it here, let me do it over here. Therefore I have length as 0, and yeah, this works better. Then in the end I will return max length, right? Yeah. Okay, I think this is the coding part of it. Therefore let me write quickly a driver function for that to test it out. Okay, let me have int, let me store the string in some pointer. I think I could copy the same to start with, right, for testing purpose. And I have to calculate the length which comes out of it. Therefore length is equal to longest okay, what was the name of the length of, okay, longest substring. I need to pass p, that's it, and the return is the length. Therefore I need to printf length of the longest substring is %d, and let me print L and just return 0. I think it should work fine. Therefore let's see. Yeah, let's compile it now. Okay, we have couple of warnings. Oh, that's int, right? I have given it as int. That is wrong. Therefore this has to be a character pointer. Sorry about that. I'm not sure why I did that. Yeah. Okay, length of longest substring is 3. Is this what we wanted? Yeah, 3. we can quickly try this. This looks to be interesting one. It's a special case, therefore it should come as 1. Yeah, it comes as 1. Okay, this is working then. Okay, this is the simplest of solution that I can think of. Therefore let us try to optimize it now, right? Therefore hash if defined, okay, this is a brute force. Let me comment it out and let me copy the whole thing. Yeah, I would modify on this only, hash else and hash endif. Therefore let me try to optimize here. Therefore this is the other optimization. Therefore the other way of solving it is actually we need not go through it twice, right? The other way of doing it is, say for example, if I am going through the substring, right? Therefore ABC, therefore this is the longest I went through, right? Therefore once I actually hit the repeat, right, what I can do is I can remove the first A because there was a repetition, right? And I can start again from BCA. It's like a sliding window, right? And BCA, and again I go to I hit a B, then I know, okay, I have to remove the first B, then it will be CAB, and again CABC, right? Then again there is a repetition here, then I will remove this C, I'll move the index pointing to that, and I'll make it as a ABC. Okay, and again there is a repetition of B there, right? Then it won't be ABC anymore, it would be just CB, right? Both A also will get removed at that time because you can't have a longest substring there. Therefore this is how we could go through it. Therefore basically the first for loop, right, where I was getting pivoted at each point, now that pivot we need not have it like that. Therefore I can be set when you actually hit a repetition, right? Therefore I'll remove this the first for loop. This is no longer necessary now, right? And I will have the inner for loop, and I have to make some modification, of course. Therefore let us see how it can be done. Therefore this would not go from I now, it will go all the way from 0 till the end, and each time, right, I say for example hit a point where in which I am incrementing it, right? I don't want to actually increment it, but I want to store the index of where it occurred. Therefore since the index would start with 0, therefore I don't want the default value to be 0 of the count array, right? Therefore let me have it as a -1, the default value as -1, and if it is equal to -1, right, then instead of incrementing it I want to store j, okay, whichever is the index at that point, and of course I want to increase length. I also has to be initialized to 0, right, because now I'm assuming the pivot is at 0 now, right? Say for example now I hit a condition, right, where in which say for example now now the length calculation, right, I have to do it each time inside the loop, I can't do it outside, right? Therefore let me bring the length, max length calculation inside the loop. Okay, okay, in the else part, right, say for example I have hit a repetition, then what do I do? Therefore let me just quickly write that over here. Okay, say for example, right, I'll just quickly write it over here. Therefore A is in what you call the index of A is updated in the count array, B is updated, C is updated, now A again hits. Therefore when we are trying to again look up for A, we have the older index, right, which is not -1. Therefore I know I know the index where A has occurred, it is at 0. Therefore if I see count of S of J, then it will be 0. Now what I need to do is, I need not break here, of course, right? I have to continue doing stuff. Therefore one quickly I can do is, now the I, right, which was actually at 0, now it becomes I is equal to wherever the index it was found, right? Where this character was found, this one, right, +1, because I need to move to the next index. I will increment now. Now the length also changes, right? Now the new length, whichever is there, right, that is length is equal to J, the present index, minus I and +1, right? Because we need to add +1 over there, because these are index subtraction, right? And of course when you count it, it will be always 1. Therefore if I tell index 2 to 4, right, it is 2, 3 and 4, right? 4 minus 2 plus 1. Okay, hopefully you get it, right? This is one thing, right? And the other important aspect now I need to do also is, I need to update now count of S of J, right? Now this is no longer equal to the old value, but this will be the new index, whichever is the current index. Therefore this will also get updated. Now there is one more actually special case we also need to think of, is, say for example I have BCA, okay, and say I have A here, right, and okay, then now say this particular example, right, say now instead of let's take this as example, ABCC, then what would have happened? I would have inserted the index of A, then B, then C, then I again would have hit C, right? Then what would I have done? I would have moved I all the way to this point, right? That is what is this, right? Then the length would be 0, of course, in this case. Oh, sorry, 1, because I and J are the same in this case. And the count, basically I would have inserted this index again. Now say for example here I again have a B. Okay, now the interesting thing that comes is, there is already a B here, but the point is that we have already moved our I to here, right? Therefore any index lookup I am doing for a B, right, if it is less than I, then it means that it was in the previous substring, it is not in the present substring. Therefore that is another condition I can add. Therefore I can just ignore it, right? Therefore that is the other condition which I would like to add it over here, right? Therefore along with this, it would be treated very similar to this, wherein which I would tell count of S of J, right? If this count, the index is less than I, then you can just ignore it. This is a way of handling this. Therefore I think we have taken care of it. Okay, therefore let's compile it now again. Okay, it looks like it's working. Therefore we have two solutions, we have not submitted them to the LeetCode. Therefore let's do that now. Okay, let's copy the brute force first, and then let's go through this. Let's submit both of them one after the other and see what will be the output. Therefore let me replace it over here. Let me quickly run it before I submit it. Yeah, therefore it is accepting it. Therefore let me submit it now. Yeah, therefore this therefore as expected, this is O of n square. Therefore you can see it's the numbers are not in higher 90s, it's less than that. Therefore let's now copy our other optimized solution and submit it. Therefore let me quickly run it before submitting it. If there are any, I think I have already compiled it, but still, okay. Therefore this is our better solution. Therefore if you see here, right, this is almost near higher 90s. Therefore this is the optimized solution that is available. Thank you.